Hello and welcome back to the Shmuseum, where there's an awful lot going on today in this rather empty looking garage behind me. Now, it's also seeming to be quite an Aston Martin themed day, with the Vantage GT8, which we showed you down at Topaz the other day, after having its PPF refreshed, is now ready to collect, looking well as good as ever. And the Aston Martin DBS is currently over with John at Godleman's, and he's given us a call to say there's more than we thought. So I think we'll be jumping over there to go and have a look at that one as well. And also, we're going to be getting on with the degreasing of our Benpack auto stackers. Now, when these were first installed, a few of you guys did notice that the grease in the tracks doesn't really need to be there. And we finally found a degreaser that we think is going to be suitable. So I think we're going to be trying to tackle that as well. And also, we have something rather special for you guys coming up. So do stay tuned for that if you're into, well, experiences, shall we say, as we have something really special. Now, let's see what's first on the agenda.
First things first, we're going to pop up the auto stack, and I think we're going to give degreasing a bit of a go.
Yeah, it's we did do a little test patch last night when I picked it up just to make sure all was okay, and it does seem to do a good job. I think we're going to go through quite a lot of sponges, and there probably is a better method to doing this, but this is the one we've chosen.
Yeah, we haven't figured out a better method as of yet, but as you can see, just for our test area, that is so much cleaner than if you come over to this side, which still has the grease in there. So it definitely works. It's just a case now of running the whole track essentially, either side, and then we should be good to go.
Yeah, I think we'll pop this up and expose as much as we can, and then, yeah, get cracking on. Okay, so now we've got that up on lock number 5. That's revealed the rest of what we've got here. And again, we've done quite a good job on this side from last night already, if we're being honest. Now, I think the awkward bit is going to be getting to this bit behind, which I think we'll probably have to just do in sections, dropping it down to reveal a bit more. Maybe a bit of back and forth till we get it all, but we will get there. So what we've got is some nice cheap sponges here, which
we may need more of.
We're definitely going to need a lot more of, and I think maybe we should probably cut these in half to start with, just to double up on them for now. Something like that. And we've actually got a foam engine degreaser. Now, we have actually tried a couple of different degreasers, just as very small test patches, and well, this is pretty thick stuff, and they haven't really done the job. But this stuff really does seem to. Now, it's just a case of spray on, and it foams up really nice. And
now we wait.
Yeah, you come back about 5 or 10 minutes later, and that's done its job, penetrated the grease, and it just comes off like water. So, yeah, we'll see you guys, well, 5 or 10 minutes, but a couple of seconds.
Right, it's been 5 minutes, roughly. I've bin bag ready. You're gloved up, and you have our half sponges.
Yep, and the logic behind this is to use one to wipe away the majority of the grease, and then one just to, you know, hopefully not get too dirty once it's all gone. So I think we'll start with the bigger one to go in there, and if we just, there's a slight trail there.
See, instantly that makes a big difference and picks up a lot of that grease.
It does. The problem then is that obviously we're going to use another side of the sponge, and it's going to, yeah, they expire very quickly. However, that's doing a great job at removing most of it. May need another go, but in fact it's just being a bit stubborn, as you can see, and it does come right off there. So yeah, I think we'll just have to keep going over it with the sponge a little, and eventually, there we go. That pretty much, for the most part, vanishes.
I guess last thing, we'll find a dirty microfiber and just wipe down the whole surface once we've removed all of the foam and grease. Something
like that, yeah. So I think we'll just use this one to get the majority of the gunk. A little bit there. And yeah, that's obviously, as you can see, coming off really rather well. And yeah, not leaving any nasty residue behind for the most part. So yeah, I guess we need to do this, do that side, which is ready degreased, and then another 3 lifts to go. So yeah, let's get on.
We've now been joined by a special, or not so special guest, but Tim is here.
Welcome back,
Finally
Tim.
back, a bit late, been shopping, as you have to do these days. More on that a little bit later. But we've got something quite cool for you guys today with our sponsor of today's video, Slash. Now, Slash is an extension add-on for your browser, which can help you save money at retailers the likes of eBuyer, Boots, B&Q, Groupon, and also Red Letter Days. And we're going to be finding a Red Letter Days experience for one of you to win. That means we need to find it. So we're going to show you how to install the extension. The three of us are going to have a quick browse. I'm thinking supercars, off-road.
Can we get them going sideways a little bit,
some
maybe?
drifting, perhaps. And it's all going to be to enter a comment on why you'd be the right person to win. And we're going to pick one of you guys. So let's have a go installing this. Let's see what we can find.
Time to get Slash installed then. So open Google Chrome and type in app.slash.com. Once that loads, scroll down and click on Add Extension to Browser. This will load the Google Chrome Web Store, where you can press Add to Chrome, then press Add Extension, and then you can run through the getting started and figure out a few of the features that Slash can provide. Now it's time to sign up. Enter an email address, choose your password, and then re-enter your password to confirm it. Next, tick the 2 boxes and create account. Final things to do is confirm via the email, add your mobile number, and then you can link your bank card.
We're all up and running. We've been taking a look at what we think are the best experiences. Tom, what have you found?
Well, it's mission complete for me. I've managed to find a nice drifting experience in a 350Z so the guys can go as sideways as possible. And that one's based in Hemel Hempstead, so if you're interested in that one, jump in the comments down below.
Not bad. Brad?
I have found a half-day off-road driving experience where you get to take a 4x4 of some sorts out into the mud. And as you can see, if we hover over the Slash logo, you can save £14.90 on this experience.
Slash is actually the first browser extension to have it completely built in. So, unsurprisingly, given we're at the Shmuseum and I kind of like supercars, I've gone with a supercar offering where you can drive 4 different supercars plus a high-speed passenger lap at lots of different locations. So guys, depending which of those appeals to you most, let us know, and let us know why you should win that opportunity. Plus, do check out Slash. We'll pop the link down below to give it a download, to add the extension and save some money on plenty of different outlets. Check that out now. For us, I think we've got quite a few other things that we need to do today.
I'm not entirely sure what you guys have been told yet, but we have something in that box for a little bit later on.
I think the guys could probably guess based on what's sat next to it, but yes.
So
we'll come
when
back to
Ciro from Petrolheadonism came recently with his crazy Aventador with the Huber era kit, we spent most of that day kicking a ball around in the garage.
that. It was a genuine few hours, yeah.
It says goal on the side. So we'll get to that. For the moment, we're actually going to hop in the team car, as we should, the RS3. It's approaching nearly 6 months. We're going to take this, we're going to head to Godleman's first to check on the DBS, which wasn't intended. I guess you've already said a little bit, but things with it aren't... There are a few things about it we didn't know until now.
More than we thought.
Yeah. And then we're going to go from there to Topaz to pick up the GT8.
Yes.
And then back here.
I'm driving the GT8.
We'll see about
We'll
that.
fight over that when we get there.
Yes. And then we come back and assemble a goal, and
Probably lose the whole evening playing football.
I can show what's in that bag, although people probably know what was in that bag.
I'm
by
sure
now.
they could guess. But yes.
based on recent things.
But they don't know what ones are in that bag.
True. I'm just trying to get my brain around this. Yeah, RS3, right? Let's go.
Yeah.
And we are back at Godleman's. Where is? There's the Aventador. Where's the...
I see it.
Oh, there it is. DBS.
Sat on the MOT ramp, so I guess we'll get this one parked up
About here. And we'll pop in and have a look and give you guys the update.
This is basically fine-tooth comb stuff. When it comes to a car like this, it's a 2011, but it's still 11 years old. These cars have been through a number of different owners. It's done 28,500 miles. It's had things along the way, and you would always expect that. I certainly bought the car expecting that there will have been things. I've owned a few Aston Martins. They have issues. They have oxidation issues. They have paint issues. They have lots of different things along the way. But when the team here at Godleman's have looked a little bit closer, you can start to see perhaps what you might want to rectify. And you have to consider the value. You know, we're not talking a £1 million something or other that you want to have absolutely pristine because it's never going to be driven or I'm going to sell it or something like that. You want the car to be in nice shape, respectable shape. And given we're going to, as we said, PPF it, that means we want to start with a very appropriate base. We don't want to have issues with lacquer, as we showed here. In fact, I've got a little torch just so you can see a little bit more of that. issues with the lacquer, and there's also kind of masking line along here. So we know the front of this car was painted at some point in the past, and you can see some of the remnants of that, and then all of these little stone chips. So that's why we want to have the front basically blown in. But because it's been painted before, there's also a build-up around here, and you can feel that this edge is quite rough when you actually touch it. So it's a build-up of paint. It was probably done without having had the headlights removed. So we'll do this here at Godleman's with the headlights out so that we can get that clean finish. Same story around here. You can again see the build-up basically around these side blades, which weren't taken out for the wings when they were painted before. Easy enough to do. I mean, if we're painting the front, we're going to do it properly, and we're going to do that. It just needs to be done properly, effectively. Thankfully, we can't get corroded mirror arms because we have those in carbon fibre. We can tell that there's been a repair of sorts on the car back here before. If we come all the way around to the other side, is where we have what I know of as a very normal Aston Martin problem. Have a little look here. You can see we have some oxidation starting on that panel. Now, if you don't look after this in the early stages, it's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse, and eventually you're going to need a new quarter, which is a significant chunk of the car. So this needs to be rectified before it has the time to do that. But in the process, you might have already spotted something on here. This doesn't quite line up. Now, we don't know exactly why that is, why these are slightly out of line, why the bumper's slightly deformed, but they're going to pull that off when they have a look at it, figure what's going on under here, and fingers crossed it's not going to be like some kind of bad update. But I don't know yet. It's slightly protruding here and slightly indented there. So the alignment on that's not 100%. And I think basically the same story. You can see that, hard to see now because it's just been outside and the weather today is all over the place. But there's a little bit of funniness going on up here as well. Plus, one other thing actually I didn't mention, if we come back round towards the front of this, is that when you're doing paint, obviously there are different ways you can do it. Come on all the way around so we can have a look at this properly. And you can have things that go slightly wrong. So up here, for example, find the right spot, you can spot a little indent there, a fisheye, which is basically caused by some silicone. It's an indent, there's nothing you can do about it. It's not like you can polish that down to get rid of it. So there are a few of those around. These are pretty minor imperfections, realistically. If you weren't with an expert pointing these out to you, you're not going to look at this car and think, hey, that's got any issues with it. But if you're a stickler for attention to detail and you want everything to be perfect, like we tend to do with the Shmuseum, obviously in a dream world we want to do every little bit of this and make it absolutely spot on. So I think that's going to be the plan, to get the bumper off and figure out what's going on there, to do a bit of work to the oxidation area at the back that just needs to be repainted, and we'll give it the full front end proper treatment. Thankfully, midnight blue, this color, is not too complicated to match. It's not like a multi-layer pearlescent something crazy. It's a fairly basic, relatively speaking, color. So it's not a challenge to get that absolutely right. But we'll get it tidied up. Then obviously when it's been painted, it needs a little bit of time to sit because you can't go straight from having a car painted to doing PPF. If you do that, you're going to end up with issues down the line as the paint's still curing for a little bit. So it needs to be through that process, sit for a couple of weeks. General guidance is about 10 days, 2 weeks, but I think I prefer a little bit longer if we can. And then we'll get some PPF on the vulnerable areas. Basically just tidy up. Things like this. This is the factory PPF, which I always find so kind of messy because you see obviously the edge of it, and if you ever polish the car or something like that, you've got an edge line. And it's much smarter if you just do this full panel with Topaz's wraparound PPF, and then you'll never see it. And obviously it will protect these kind of vulnerable areas when you're steering with the front wheels and it's pinging up stones out towards those parts. Obviously, again here, it's not perfect. You know, how far do you want to go with this? We've got a few chips and things on here. I think those we're just going to leave because, like I said, you could spend forever going through every single little bit. It's just not really worth it. In general, the car is a pretty good buy and I'm very happy with it. There's not a whole lot to actually talk about, but it's interesting when it gets to older cars, as we did with the V8 Vantage, with my V8 Vantage Roadster. We took it to McGurk, they did a proper mechanical inspection and found a few things that needed to be sorted. You know, we had a leak from it, we needed a new cooler, we had a whole bunch of things that had to be changed. Beauty of this is, doesn't need any of that. It's had a few things over the last couple of years, so it's ready to rock and roll. We just want to make it visually spot on for its future time in the collection and what happens down the line.
Next stop, Topaz.
Indeed, we are here, and fingers crossed the GT8 is ready to collect, or very nearly ready, and we can get some noisy V8 going on.
Are you all right back there, Tim?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Wherever you are. There you are.
Enjoying the ride.
Oh, that is a lovely colour on that 4A. Oh, and the wheels.
That's Verde British over a Koyo interior with the gold wheels.
That really works for me. I like that.
Verde
Anyway.
British is like a heritage colour, flat green, but kind of British racing green levels.
And that glorious GT12 that was here the other day is parked behind it.
Yep. Right, let's go find a GT8.
Yes.
All is now finished with the GT8. It is looking fabulous. It was about, well, a bit over 5 years ago that this car came here to Topaz originally, before I'd ever driven a mile on the road with it. In fact, it got full coverage PPF and we took it up to the Auto Sport show and I'd still never driven it. Collected it from the factory, drove it the very short distance over and then had it on display for the weekend. But obviously, over time, things change. It's had a few updates and Brad, you guys did a bit of an update when you came to see it.
Yep, we showed a few things that needs to be replaced. So first off was the PPF on this carbon piece. There was a few sort of small scuffs and I think stone chips that we've had replaced there. Some infills popped in here, which I think were missing on an older template PPF, so they've now been fitted. And on this, there was a stone chip just on that edge that had caught the PPF too.
And the really interesting thing, by the way, about the infills is that obviously this was done over 5 years ago and PPF is evolving. The materials are evolving, the techniques are evolving, and Topaz, obviously, over that time, can work with the new materials, update the templates, keep them as up to date as possible. And that would mean on a, let's say if you were doing it now on the whole car, you'd be able to work even better with the curves and the edges. And for example, having this completely covered rather than leaving that very small square inch exposed from a few years back. So it's super easy to update that, as you mentioned, when it's been obliterated with stone chips, because I took this on a rally down to Sardinia and around Italy, and I had a pretty heavy time of it. So to be able to refresh that and keep it all looking wonderful, magnificent, is very, very beneficial. And just replace the parts as they go, and obviously still have the paintwork totally immaculate. For now though, thankfully, despite the recent odd weather, we have a bit of sunshine, so we're going to drive back to the Shmuseum, although I suspect, considering the time of day, we're going to have a bit of traffic. But anyway, let's hop in, get the start of this, always sounding fantastic, and get back to the garage in the GT8, the first time I've actually driven it for quite a while.
Out the GT8 comes into the sunlight. This is such an aggressive, cool looking car. Look at that. And we also have a previous gen RS3. And we've just had that sitting next to, that is a Ferrari, yep, 812. We've had that part next to our RS3. Comparing the two, now which one do you have? The previous generation or the same generation that we have? Anyway, back to the barn.
This is pretty much how this afternoon's drive has started and is going to continue. And just look at the navigation. I don't know if you can see this. That doesn't look very pretty.
Lots of red and slow moving traffic by the look of it.
Yeah, this car does actually have Android Auto. Sometimes I plug it in, but at the moment I haven't. I just didn't really bother setting it up. But it wasn't originally on the car when it was new. It was something that was updated at the first service, which is kind of cool actually, because it's a Vantage. It's really old school. It's not exactly the car you think of when you think of modern, latest technology. But in terms of that, actually pretty on it.
Oh, there's the traffic that we've been pre-warned about by Tom, who's headed off a little bit earlier.
What a mess.
That looks fun. And the perfect car being manual, hey? With a nice heavy clutch.
Properly heavy clutch. Like the worst possible car. Hey, we're going downhill, I can coast it.
Nice. Saving fuel.
Yeah. What a... Yeah. Afternoon rush hour in London. Hey look, this is Hatchings. He doesn't care.
Nice. Someone's in a hurry.
It's literally like... humans. Everyone's better than everyone else, eh? Got to get to the front. Anyway, it's going to take us what it takes us. It'll be what it will be. Hey look, another guy.
Nice.
Smile, you're on camera.
Got somewhere to be.
Oh, and someone else did it, and there's another car coming through doing it.
Yep, here they'll come. There we go.
It's like somebody does it and everyone thinks that's the trend.
Maybe they
And
think that you can do it if one car does it.
No, that's not correct.
No.
Anyway.
Weird.
My left foot is already not appreciating this. I should say left knee, left ankle. But tunnel. It's all worthwhile. It's all worthwhile. 16 miles per hour. Sounds so good. Now we have the fun of a slightly open road. It is a little bit ridiculous. blips and downshifts.
And obviously more traffic up ahead.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the afternoon if there wasn't, but we did enjoy that like 5 seconds.
Yeah, a small acceleration, a bit of V8 noise, and then back to a standstill.
I honestly haven't driven this car prior to today for a while. I mean, everybody knows from the videos we talk about that we try and take out every car at the maximum every 2 months, but in theory every month, if we can.
Yeah.
That's like the goal. But Tom loves this car so much that each time it's gone out recently, it's been him.
Tom just, if we can take the GT8 anywhere, Tom will try and take the keys. I'm surprised.
Like, it hasn't been driven for 5 days, I'm taking the GT8.
I'm surprised he left early and didn't try to fight you over the fact that he could
did.
drive this.
I was like, I'm driving it today. Sorry, Tom, but I haven't driven it for a while. It's one of those, like, it's a privilege and feel very spoilt to have so many cars in the garage, but it does mean that you can't drive them all the time. And with how much traveling I do, you know, I go away for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then you need to drive every car. And if I drove every car one a day, it would take me 2.5 weeks to drive every car. So
Yeah, doesn't work.
It doesn't work like that. And you know, I'm not going to lie, when you don't drive cars particularly often, it does make them more special when you then drive them again. Having not been at the wheel of this for a while makes the sheer ludicrousness of the sound that it makes even more special than it would be. I don't know how much of the camera can even hear me over most of this, but it's just, it was ridiculous when it was new, but compared to cars now, this is so ridiculous, it just makes you wonder how that's possible. Like, how they did that. What the story was, I was really worried about that guy. He put his foot down to get through the orange traffic light. I was like, please don't hit me. We've just had this car fixed and the PPF redone. We don't have to do it again.
Topaz would absolutely love us if we were like,
We'll be back again.
Guys, we're bringing it back.
I wonder, one day I should add up how many cars that I've owned have had Topaz PPF. I reckon it's probably about 20 now. It's crazy, but I've had a few instances over the years which have taught me that it is an absolute must. You cannot have a car like this that's this special and not do something to protect the paint, because as soon as it goes wrong, you regret it all. You'll never get that perfect match again. You'll always have the headache. Maybe you can get the perfect match, but it might be a headache. It might not be easy. And yeah, we're getting lucky with the weather here. It's been kind of snowing.
Yeah, we've had snow, sun, rain, more snow, hail. We've had everything that the weather could throw at us.
I was driving earlier and I set off like this and it was 6.5 degrees Celsius. It says it's 8 degrees here now, but it was 6.5 degrees. Very shortly thereafter it was 0.5 degrees, and then when I arrived it was 4.5 degrees. So in like half an hour it went from 6.5 to 0.5 to 4.5.
Yeah, it's very weird at the moment.
Like, yeah, weird. But yeah, that last bit actually didn't have too much traffic. I'm not complaining. We'll get back. Sorry, we're waffling.
We are parked, we've put it up this end to join some of the other cars. Tom is back as well. And I don't know if Tim's going to be happy with the parking.
Yeah, you know what we're doing.
Does that work?
We've had this system in play for a while now.
I know, you know what I'm like. We come in, the cars are wonky and sideways and backwards sometimes.
Yeah, they're all good. This is borrowed. Tom, it's temporary. It will go back to the other side.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I like it here. It very much suits. I like the fact that it sits next to the LT because they're both round the same age. They almost came at the same time. So
The two oldest
very
cars.
fitting.
And then obviously the ultimate plan is that GT Black Series sits here and SLS Black Series sits here when all of that's like gone somewhere. Anyway,
we have a gift.
we do. Shall we go and unbox this mysterious present?
It's gift time.
So rather than grabbing some scissors, I've got some keys here, so we will be able to cut the tape. When I say that.
No, Tim, you meant to wait. So this is from Ciro, who sent us this lovely yellow football.
That's not going to stay yellow in here for long.
It's already not yellow.
This already looks a lot more in-depth than I thought.
This is serious.
Is there a football in there as well?
There is a football.
That needs to be banned if it's not soft.
Yes, 100%. That can't be kicked around in here. But
What has Ciro sent us?
so we have some
things.
Stringy, bally things. Yeah.
Thank you, Ciro. This is going to be...
Oh no, wait, is this yes, this is a football, but it's just not blown up.
Yeah, so that can go somewhere away from here.
Forza Evo Glide.
It actually has a case to pack it all away again.
Nice.
Well, that's not happening.
That can
Yep.
that can go there
Oh!
for now.
The goal's not set up, it doesn't count. That can go over there.
Oh, here's the net. So goal net, 8x4. So it's quite big.
Is this how we build it? Turn it around, Tim. There we go, step one.
No, I was looking at the, I guess that folds in half. I was reading the front page.
This is definitely part of it.
Yes. That definitely is part of it.
So the Shmuseum vlog has now descended into assembling a football goal.
Oh, look at all the part numbers of what's what. That's going to be fun.
All right, gents.
I think we can work out those in the
I've got
corners.
some emails to reply to.
I've got a video to edit as well. Tom, enjoy.
It's not how this works.
Look at this, we almost have a goal. Almost. Tim's holding paper in his mouth. Tom is...
We should probably pop this one down.
Yeah, I'll take that here.
Yeah, there you go. You take the crossbar.
I just have a crossbar in my hand. Nice.
So, do you know the bit we've got wrong? Because if you think about the angles.
Yes.
You should have put this on first and then...
Anyway, we might need to pop this up.
What is it with us not reading instructions?
We're reading them. We're just
Not you.
Hold on.
right.
Wait, that's aggressive. There. Now we can get your end on.
No ends on.
Do you think we can manage this?
Yes.
Of course.
Because we're guys with brute strength and we'll just find a way.
No, we'll just make it work. There.
What he said. Yeah.
Time for the net.
How are we going to manage this?
Magic trick. Watch this. Step back. Done! That was a really bad kick, but it wasn't the first goal.
And that went in. Yeah, pretty easy, as you said it would.
This looks quite good.
Right, where are we putting it? Over here?
I'm almost tempted to say we should put it by the mat, so if you do want to like go in goal on your knees and dive, you're not going to be doing it on concrete.
I wouldn't be diving on concrete.
Maybe you should carry it on your
Tim, what was that?
Second goal.
I don't know what I just watched. Right, is this where I need to get a tripod out and then we'll play?
Also included in the box was this target net. So, I have an idea. Tim,
No, Tim.
put that through there.
No, Tim, you stay away from this.
You put that through one of those holes. Once again, Tim has woke up and chose violence with footballs today.
Oh.
And you've chosen accuracy.
Where's the other blue one?
I think it might be up there.
Probably up on the mez. I'm going to get a tripod and we're going to play some football.
Where?
The Schmez.
There we go.
That was aggressive.
Right, I'm Brad. I'm driving a bath.
Hi guys, I'm Shmee. I own a few cars, and I'm gonna miss.
The goal is missing.
Crossbar,
We'll take it.
Wrong challenge.
That would have gone in.
A short while later, nothing is broken. Nearly though.
Yet.
Nothing is broken yet, let's keep it that way. And in fact, the goal is now protecting all of that stuff over there. GT8 is back, but still, the garage is so empty at the moment. It's really strange, but I guess there must be like 7 cars that aren't here right now, 6 cars, something like that. It's a weird one. However, it's good to have that back. It's slightly annoying that the DBS needs a bit more work than we might have thought, but at the end of the day, it's not actually all that much. And Godleman's are looking after us very nicely, so a big thanks to them. And also, of course, to Topaz for popping the GT8 back into full order. Of course, don't forget with Slash, we'll pop the link down below if you'd like to go and check out the different offers that are available instantly on your browser with their extension. Super easy to use, as we've seen earlier on. And you never know what you might find. And one of you guys could win one of the Red Letter Days experiences as well. Let us know which one would be the one for you, and we'll try and set that up if you're in the UK and able to make it along to one of those. We'll get in touch through the comments below. That's it for this time though. As always, an update from the Shmuseum. Until next time.